Hello everyone, so this is a quick video on exporting instructions. So I think you guys told me that last time you guys tried to export something in an animated GIF, you guys were having trouble with error messages and things like that. So exporting into the animated motion graphic is not a, how do I put it, it's not like a major thing for the Photoshop. So obviously they have not put much work into it, so oftentimes that engine that convert export is very outdated and is not very effective, especially if you don't have a high powering computer. So there is a couple things that we can do before exporting the file just to make it a little bit safer. So one thing is scaling down your image. So for instance, this student right here, he made an amazing animation, by the way. He tried to export this, but his MacBook just won't let him, because he was middle of the exporting, it was just crashing. That is because his image was way too big. So if we go to image and image size, you can see that it is 8000 by 4500 at 300 ppi. That is this is gigantic file. As you can see, this 103 megabytes. So obviously trying to convert that into animated GIF, it is going to be at least a gigabyte. So that is a very large image file, and Photoshop's export engine is very outdated, so it's not well designed, suited for exporting size that big. So what we can do is, first we're gonna lower the resolution, because if you're not printing this, which I don't, because that is impossible to print an animated GIF. I mean, if there is a way, that'd be awesome, but we are not going to be printing it. We are only showing it on the screen, so that is going to be on computers, tablets, and smartphones and things like that. So the rule of thumb is that 72 pixel per inch is sufficient. So all the images that you see on the on websites and internet, that is 72 pixels per inch. So we're going to change that to 72, and you'll notice that the width and height changes according to the resolution. So do that, and then you'll see that the size of the image reduced drastically right here. So now it's around 6 megabytes, which is more reasonable. So for the width and height, I'll say this is about okay. So 1920 by 1080p is the size of this most common monitor, so I like to work with that, because even if someone has like a 4K monitor, they're usually using like a downsample size of this kind of a resolution. So I'm just gonna try around 2000 by 1000 image size, and once you do that, it's gonna take some time depending on your computer's capability, and you'll notice that now it's much smaller. But still, if I zoom in 100%, this is big enough for a high resolution image. So I'll say this is good enough. So we're gonna hit save, and then we're gonna go follow the same thing. Go to File, Export, and save for Web Legacy, and go to the. It is still going to take a lot of time, because like the Photoshop mentioned, this is a legacy engine. So this is designed, I think it was back in like 2000, early 2000s. So it's not very sophisticated. So we're gonna go to GIF, time. So if it is loading forever, just give it a time. I have a very high performance computer, so my computer might be able to handle this exporting bigger size, but you might not have such a high performance computer, so it might take a little bit longer. So if that is the case, just give it a little bit more time, or you can even make it smaller than the 1080p. You can make it to 720, which is a step down from the 1080p. And it'll still be a high resolution. I mean, Google Doodle is usually about like this size, right? So there's no need to make it this big. So I'm just gonna go with the 720. I think it looks good. So I'm gonna go to File, Export, Legacy. Actually, instead of come on, instead of making your image file smaller, I would say have it on the 1080p 1080 on the height at least, and then just go to, I'm just gonna save this, just go to export, save for web, and we're gonna downsample it from this save for web engine. Photoshop is just such a memory and CPU hog. I need to work on it, optimizing a little bit better. Like GIF, and it's gonna give us like a couple other options that we can play around just to make your file export. I think that is it. So let's just look, zoom out, and then play it. All right, that's looking good. And make sure the looping option is selected to forever. And so here we're gonna change to make sure that the link is this is clicked, so that you are maintaining the original aspect ratio. We're gonna put 720. And it's gonna take some time to downsample it. Oh, did it crash? No, come on. You can do it, computer. There we go. All right, so and the quality, you can also play around with these different settings, but I'm not too sure what they do, to be honest. If you do that, you'll see like a the file size, but to human eye, they pretty much look similar. So I'll just go with the default option right there, and then we're gonna try to export it and see if it works. Stop, save. And it's gonna take some time. Said this is not very well optimized. Well, that wasn't too fast, because that was quicker than I thought, because we were downsampling it to 720, 120, 1270 by 720. I might have the number wrong, but let's take a look. Sway knee. And yeah, it's working fine. I mean, this is 100%, and this is still big enough for us to put it into a Google web page. This is definitely more than big enough. So that is how you can reduce your image size, just to make your avoid having that error message. Most times that error message pops up because your computer just can't handle that much of a computation. So even if you try this and then it fails, just save as the PSD file and then send it over to me, so that I can just export it for you, and then I'll submit it to your original posting. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next video.